Yant Gao Yord, version 3. So to begin the yantra, you would draw along the bones of the yantra with Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare. Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare. And once again, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare. Again, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare. And once again, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare, Ati Yantang Santang Vikrinkare. And then you would begin to do the Buddhas, the Ongpa, with Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate. And then you would say Unaloma Panachayate. Repeat the process with Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, and Unaloma Panachayate. Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, Unaloma Panachayate. Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, and then going from downwards to the bottom to the top, Unaloma Panachayate, Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate. Above this is the letter O, which comes at the end along with the rest above it, which shall be explained later. Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, Unaloma Panachayate, Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, Unaloma Panachayate, Bata Putta Panachayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, Unaloma Panachayate. Chayate, Anka Putta Panachayate, Sisa Putta Panachayate, and Unaloma Panachayate. We would then begin with the drawing of the Akkhara with Akkhara Yantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mabangud Ben Tua A. And the Akkhara A invoked through this kata means basically that may this letter A be born, invoked through the power of the sacred lettering to become the letter A. And the kata says At Sang Wit Sut Lo Bosa Pupa, which is the Navahorakon or Itipiso Hong Ton or Bed Tit, which was Ap Arahang Sang for Samma Samputto, Vi for Vichacharana Sampanno, Su for Sukhato, Lo for Lokavitu, Anuttaro, Bu for Purisa Dhamma Sarati, Sa for Satha Tevamanunsanang, and Pu for Putto, Pa for Bhagavati. So it's actually the Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Samputto Vichacharana Sampanno Sukhato Lokavitu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati, Satha Tevamanunsanang, Putto Bhagavati, Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Samputto Vichacharana Sampanno Sukhato Lokavitu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati, Satha Tevamanunsanang, Putto Bhagavati. That is A for Arahang, Sang for Samputto, Vi for Vichacharana Sampanno, Su for Sukhato, Lokavitu, Lo for Lokavitu, Anuttaro, and Bu for Purisa Dhamma Sarati, Sa for Satha Tevamanunsanang, and Pu for Putto, Pa for Bhagavati. That is the kata Nawahorakun. We now go, and each letter you would say Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua A, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Ben Akhara Tua Sa Sang, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Vi, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Su, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Lo, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Bu, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Sa, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Pu, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Pa. You would then say Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Sang, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Vi, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Ta, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Pu, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Sa, Tua Ga, sorry, Jong Mapangerd Bentua Ga is so tiny on my phone. Akharayantang, but I should know that. Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Ya, Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jong Mapangerd Bentua Ba. Ani Pawa, this is because it says Sang Vita Buka Ya Ba, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nova means 9. Horakun, the 9-syllable mantra, which is Itipiso. This is Sangvita Buka Ya Ba, which is the 7 books of the Abhidhamma. The first one is Sangyojana, is the first book of the Abhidhamma, the first method of interpreting the Tripitaka. There's 7 different ways of interpreting the Tripitaka, which make up the 7 books of the Abhidhamma. So Sang is Sangyod, Vi is Vikrot, which means academically kind of analysis, yeah, and each syllable represents the first syllable of the word, which explains how to analyze the Abhidhamma. The 7 books of the Abhidhamma are actually 7 analyses of the Abhidhamma. There is one Abhidhamma, but there are 7 books of the Abhidhamma. So was Sangvisolo Busa Pupa, then Sangvita Bukayapa, kata inside the bones of the yant. And then we have, so that is the kata Nawaharakun. This kata is the kata Pra-Abhidhamma, the Abhidhamma, the Navahorakun mantra and the Abhidhamma mantra. And this mantra or kata is the kata Praputtajao Ha Praong Namo Puttaya, which would be Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jomma Bangerd Bentua Na Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jomma Bangerd Bentua Mo Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jomma Bangerd Bentua Pu Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jomma Bangerd Bentua Ta Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare. Or you can say Lekayantang Santang Vikrinkare would be actually better. No, that's for numbers actually. Akharayantang Santang Vikrinkare Jongma Bangerd Bintua Yak. Nap is Namo Puttaya. So that's first three kata. Asangwisolo Busapupa Sangwita Bukayaba Namo Puttaya. And here we have Ma A U, which, as we say it, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But in Sayasat Thai, you always end with ma'a'u, which would be, and this is a, which I've now figured out means u, ma, or could be just a for arahang, for the top Buddha, the arahant. So ma'a'u, ma'a'u. Ma means mu maha, sangko means the sangha. A means arahang, which means the enlightened one, the Buddha, or anybody who's a Buddha. And O, Uttamatammo, which means the Sangha. Sangha doesn't mean monks in yellow, because you have good and bad monks, just like you have good and bad people. Real practitioners and non-practitioners has nothing to do with what you're wearing. Sangha, which is Maha Sangho, means those who have attained stream entry and become purified to the point where they have got rid of the three of the 10 fetters, which I'll explain stream entry and the 10 fetters in another podcast, because this is about analysis of Yant. Means those enlightened beings, which might be laypersons or monks, and are worthy of reverence for having overcome their natural instincts and become supernatural beings, because they're not subject to natural instinct anymore, not because they can fly on flying carpets or telepathy or something, rather that they are purified to a certain extent, at least to stream entry and above, and might even be an arahant, arahang, or might just be stream enterer. There are four, classified into 4 levels with just one string, but you can write pen lines or ink lines along the string and say, when a person gets this far along the string, we're going to call him a stream enterer. When he gets further, I'll call him a once returner. And when he gets to this point where we've drawn a line, he will be called the never returner. And after he's got past the next point, he will be a fully awakened being. That's just a categorization, because the 4 noble persons, they're called the 4 noble kinds of person, which are 8. So it's split from 4 into 8 already through academics, because you have a path and a fruit. The path means you've entered the path to becoming a stream enterer, but you haven't attained the fruit of actually abandoning the first 3 of the 10 fetters. And also the second level has only abandoned the first 3 fetters of the 10. The main difference between the first and second level of enlightenment, or awakening, better said, is that the Sagitakami, the once returner, is the next level up from the stream enterer, has rid himself of the false understandings and rid himself of the first 3 of the 10 fetters to a more elegant degree, so to a higher degree. So when you pray to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, when you think of Sangha, if you've met bad monks, don't think, I can bow to the Buddha, I can bow to the Dhamma. The Dhamma means the true nature of all things, and the Buddha's
explanation or teaching of the true nature of things. The Buddhadhamma was Buddha's explanation of how things were, how things truly are. And he said he didn't invent it, rather he discovered it, he saw it, and he explained it to us, but it was there before him. Of course it was, it's universal law. It's is nature. So ma'a'u, and here we have a, which I assume to be for arahant, meaning the Buddha, which is ong pra. Here we have 9 ong pra. Ong pra, 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 9, with 9 onalom. Then we have here the letter O, which is usually at the final akara as a O in ma'a'u. And then we have a jansik, which is the moon, which means the Dharma sheds light of truth both in the darkness, and the Pintu Surya, the sun, which gives the light of the Dharma to he who seeks and opens his eyes to his own heart in the daytime and the nighttime. And here we have the final Unalom, which is of course the crown of the Buddha, Namo Buddhaya. It's the crown of the Buddha, and represents that from being a normal being, born as a normal being and wandering about, lost in ignorance, finally finds the path and then moves just straight on along the path to the goal of Nibbana through the 4 stages of enlightenment. Once you have attained stream entry and understood what stream entry is and try for it, then you are entering the path of the Sotapanna once you get your practice down to a certain level. And then when you achieve the full realization of that, then you are a Sotapanna, you have achieved the fruit. And you have achieved the path of the once returner and the fruit of the once returner, and the path of the never returner and the fruit of the never returner, path of the Arahant, the awakened one, and the fruit of the Arahant, which is awakening. And that is when the lion's roar occurs, which is basically a feeling of elation, but not an egoistic one, at having finally escaped samsaric dream thinking and illusory thought. And it's called the lion's roar, and that happens in the moment of enlightenment. So this was Yant Gao Yord. So we have now At Sangwisolo Busapupa, Sangwita Bukayaba, Namo Buddhaya, Ma'a'u A. And we have Janta Surya, Panachayate Unaloma, Panachayate Unaloma, Panachayate, or Namo Buddhaya if you like. I like to do Namo Buddhaya if it has 5 kinks in it. If it has 9 kinks in it, then I'll say Asangwisolo Busapupa. If it has 7 kinks in it, meaning the zigzags of the Unalom that goes like this, that's 5, and then up would be Namo Buddhaya. If it had 7, then I would say Sangwita Bukayaba, because how many wiggles an Unalom has, each angle represents 1 syllable of a kata, and how many it has will indicate and give you a clue as to which kata it is referring to. Yeah, apart from meaning the crown of the Arahant, and that's why it's placed above the Ong Pra Buddhas, that the crown of their head and the straight path to enlightenment. So there's multiple meanings within the Unalom. Yeah. And so that was Yant Gao Yord. I believe version number 3, which I have shown, it might be 4 or 3. I'm going to put it up as Yant Gao Yord version 3 on YouTube. And Ajahn Spencer for the Sakhyant Foundation, sakhyant.com Foundation project to preserve and expand knowledge on the sacred yantra, not on Sakyantai temple tattoos only. This is not just for tattoos. You can make takrut amulets, you can make payan, you can draw these in the air as spells with a magic wand, or you can imagine them holographically in your head and project them. So there's Yant and sacred geometry has to do with understanding the structure and the true nature of reality and the universe and of life itself, and the Buddha Dhamma which is hidden within it, namely the Kata Akom, the 7 books of the grimoires of the Abhidhamma, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the enlightened one who saw the Dharma and gave it to us and led people to become Sangha, so Ma'ao, to become stream enterers on the path to enlightenment, which leads to Arahant, being an awakened being, who is awakened in the night and awakened in the evening, and in every breath he is aware of his physical death that is coming and is uncertain, and many other things, which I haven't even finished explaining the mood of a stream enterer, so I won't get into explaining the mood of an enlightened being or the state of existence of an awareness of an enlightened being, it's not impossible even though you're not an enlightened being, because there are things called previews which come in the 4th dhyana. The Dhyani Buddhas are the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. It has to do with dhyana, full absorbed, which is Nirodha, the extinction of suffering. And that is when the Dharma eye opens in the 4th jhana of absorption, where you forget self and otherness and see reality for what it really is without naming it. Ajahn Spencer for the Sakyan Foundation Project and the Buddha Magic Project, signing off.